Hi, Preeti.
Hi Amit. Amit, I have a parallel meeting going on, so I shall drop this call.
Oh,
Yeah, please take it ahead.
hi, Suresh. Yeah. So, one second. Okay, Suresh. Uh, so shall we start? Yeah. So just tell me about yourself, your experience, and your expertise. Okay. So, what is the experience in Jenkins you have? Okay. So, okay. Can you just tell me what are the ways to trigger Jenkins pipeline? Okay. 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 If I ask you, you have a Jenkins URL, but you don't have access for the dashboard. So how will you trigger this? Okay, what is the what is a multi-branch pipeline? Are you sure? Okay. Okay. If you want to execute a scheduled job in a pipeline, so how will you trigger it? Huh. With a scheduled job. Okay. What is the options basically we are using for the scheduled job? Okay. Basically you are not working on the Jenkins pipeline creation. Okay. What is the Okay. Okay. So you have used Sonar Cube. So what is the purpose for that you have used? Okay. So how did you manage it into your Jenkins pipeline then? Okay. 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 Have you heard about parameterization build? So if I ask you to trigger a build with a parameterized value, have you have you heard about this thing? Uh, okay. Did you work on Azure DevOps? Okay. Okay. So you have experience in AWS basically. Okay. So explain about a S3. Okay. Okay. If I ask you to send some request to the S3, what are the ways you can do it? No, no, no. I mean, what are the service you will use? Have you heard about REST API kind of? No, no. But okay, did you deploy any application on your AWS environment? Okay, so how did you manage the CI/CD process for that? Okay. Anything else in that? Okay. So, How do you monitor Amazon VPC? Okay, so Nagios is a third party tool, right? So if I ask you, you don't have permission to use a third party tool, so how will you manage it? How will you monitor it? Okay. Another way other than the CloudWatch? Okay. Have you heard about VPC flow logs? Okay. Okay. No, no problem. Okay. What is Snowball? Okay. If I ask you to create a pipeline in Azure DevOps, are you ready for that? So you don't have experience in the project level, right? On Azure DevOps? Okay, but you have idea about it. Okay. Okay. So if I okay. So consider you are working on a Maven application, Maven based application, and now you don't have a permission to utilize the Maven from the outside world, from the internet access, right? You are under proxy. So how will you manage these Maven based dependencies there in the pipeline? Yeah, but I ask you, how will you download your dependencies if you are under proxy? No, it's a not security. Any person need to manage those dependency. Either you will be a developer or you are a DevOps engineer. You have to manage those things. So how will you manage? Okay, okay. Have you heard about JFrog Artifactory? Okay. Okay. So basically, you are using Nexus repository, and you are using it. So how are you managing Nexus repository in your project? Okay. What is Azure Artifact? Okay. No. Okay. No problem. No problem. Leave it. Uh, one second. What is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? So sorry, I didn't get actually. Okay. So have you worked on Docker? So what is the experience you have? Okay. What command you can use to export Docker images and as an archive? What command can you run to export a Docker image as an archive? Okay. For a Docker. Yeah. Okay, just explain about the Docker components. So what are the components basically it have? Okay. What is the difference between add and copy command? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you have experience in Terraform? So, what is Terraform D? Yes. No. Okay. What is Terraform validate command do? Okay. Okay. Consider a scenario. You are working. Three people are working on Terraform scripting, and you're doing some activities on the GitHub. But since other person is also working on the same GitHub, so what are the activities you will do to uh, commit your code into the GitHub for Terraform scripts? Miss, have you heard about a lock Terraform module versions? State lock process. Have you heard about state lock process? No, but how are you managing if your three members are working on Terraform scripting? So how are you managing right now? How will you manage them? Because if you are committing some code, it may affect on other script, right? And it will affect on the state file, right? Okay. Last question. Consider you are working on Jenkins, SonarCube, and your Maven-based applications. You have got some issues on SonarCube. Some bugs have been raised on the SonarCube dashboard, but the developers are not able to see it in SonarCube itself. So they just want to raise those issues onto the Jira. How will you manage those things? Okay. I'm good now. Do you have any questions? Yeah. No, no. We have multiple options. Like either you will work on the Azure DevOps or you will work with the Jenkins pipeline, and you will require to work on like Java based applications or .NET based applications. That depends. Also, you have to work on Terraform scripting or Docker containerizations kind of things. Uh, you should have experience in Azure, AWS, or GCP. So that depends. You already have on AWS. Yeah, that's it. That's the responsibilities for the position actually. No, sorry, I don't have that much of idea actually. Yeah, so it's like you will be implementing a CI/CD best practices with infrastructure as a core and automate the business process. Okay, okay, but you okay, okay. Here it's like you will not get the same structure. You may get a different architectures that depends on the customer requirement. Yeah, but you have to grab those things for the business purpose. Yeah. No, actually, even I don't have idea about it. You just better check with the HR actually. Basically, we are looking for as a DevOps person who is having an idea about Azure DevOps, Jenkins, Azure Cloud, then AWS. Then you should have experience in the CI/CD infrastructure as a code, Docker kind of. We have multiple offices. We have in Hyderabad as well as in Bangalore, Pune, Delhi. Currently, we are working from home actually. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay then. Anything else? Okay. Thank you, Suresh.